Hello. What is going on, everyone? I wanted to come on here and give my UFC 251 thoughts and some predictions, or how I see things playing out. Sorry if the volume's kind of low. My wife is sleeping nearby, so um, don't want to spend too long on this video. There are some fights I want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about every fight. Uh, some good matchups tonight. Overall, pretty good card. Really good card. Some rematches, some former champs. I mean, this card's got a little bit of everything. Uh, so we'll just jump right into it. Dos Santos and Muslim Salikov. I like Dos Santos as a small underdog, plus 115. I think he can get the takedowns. If he doesn't get knocked out, I think he can win a decision. But it's a big question mark. People kind of wrote him off after he got knocked out against Li Jingliang in China. But there's something about fighters going into China and fighting Chinese opposition. Um, you know, you don't bet those fighters, and he showed you why. So, but people kind of wrote him off. But I think he's kind of a live dog here. Again, if he doesn't get knocked out, which is a definite possibility. But I like Dos Santos, small underdog. Uh, Volkan Ozdemir and Yuri Prochazka. Uh, I like Volkan, but I don't like the price tag on him. And I haven't seen enough tape on Yuri to really have a strong opinion. So we'll jump right into the rest of the main card. We'll start with Amanda Ribas and Paige Van Zant. When they announced this fight, I was like, I'll max bet Amanda Ribas all day. Tailor-made fight for her to win. I think she opened like minus 300 or something. I would even have taken that, even though I don't like to bet a lot of favorites. But I would have taken that all day. She's all the way up to around minus 800. She was minus 900 at one point. Paige has a lot of heart. Last fight on the contract, so I expect her to show up and do her best. She is durable, but I would avoid Paige. I wouldn't take any kind of shot on her. Skill for skill, Amanda Ribas is just far superior. So barring some kind of fluke or something, it's Ribas all day. That said, we haven't seen Van Zant in a while. She's young, she's athletic. She's probably made improvements to her game, but it's a pass on that fight altogether, just simply because Ribas's line is out of control at this point. So Jessica Andrade and Rose Namajunas. When they announced the rematch on this, actually, for starters, the first fight, when they fought the first go around, I had a sizable bet on Jessica Andrade. I liked her to win that fight going into it, and man, that first round, I was like, wow, I just lost my money. But as that fight went on into the second round, you could see Rose Namajunas start to tire, and Andrade was starting to close that gap, and obviously we know what happened when she did close that gap. She planted a rose, but when they announced the rematch, I was like, well, I'll go Rose Namajunas all day, but not as a minus 200 favorite. There's no way I can get behind that. We don't know the headspace that Rose is in. The mental space that she's in, we don't know what she's going through, or if her heart's really in it. Because skill wise, I mean, she has great strikes. She's dangerous on the ground even. She's durable despite getting knocked out in the first fight. But this is completely a dog or pass fight at this line. Jessica Andrade plus 180 actually has me thinking of taking a shot on Jessica Andrade, which I might. I'm actually strongly considering it at plus 180, or or even just betting the under at plus 140. Either girl could get a knockout win, because we don't know. Jessica Andrade, she's taking a lot of damage. So we don't know. What was her last fight? Yeah, where she got knocked out against Zhang Weili in China again. So we don't know how Andrade is going to bounce back. It's dog or pass completely. Or even I would actually favor Andrade a lot more if this was a 5-round fight. The fact that it's a 3-round fight, I can see Namajunas squeaking out a decision. But I think it could be a close decision. If it was 5 rounds, I think I would really favor Jessica Andrade to wear out Namajunas and just pressure her and win a 49-46 or something. But yeah, I also think this fight, if you live play, I could see Andrade definitely losing the first round and maybe getting plus 250, plus 300 on Andrade entering the second round. So yeah, it's dog or pass on that fight. We will go into briefly Jose Aldo and Petr Yan. I talked about this fight in a previous video. I like Jose Aldo at plus 200. But it is absolutely a risky bet. It's a 50-50 fight. Jose Aldo made weight. He looked pretty good on the scales. The second time that he's made this weight as well, so I expect his body to have adapted. But there's a lot of risk in this fight. I wouldn't go too heavy on it, just because Jose Aldo, even though he's 33 years old, which it's not old. It's probably just at the tail end of his prime. But he's been through a lot of wars, and it could just be Petr Yan's time. Petr Yan is a monster. He has great volume. He's relentless. If you're on Petr Yan's side, I would probably go with like a 4th or a 5th round finish, or Yan by decision. I think 4th or 5th rounds still gets you like 12-1, which is pretty good. Jose Aldo though, but if Jose Aldo shows up, like he showed up against Renato Moicano and Jeremy Stevens, I think he can absolutely put Petr Yan's lights out. Keep in mind, Petr Yan's been dropped before by a former flyweight, an older, former, past his prime flyweight. When was that anyway? John Dodson. That was a little over a year ago. But yeah, no. Give me Jose Aldo at plus 200 or better. If Jose Aldo was plus 150, I'd probably leave it alone. Or plus 125, I'd definitely leave it alone, just because he should be the underdog. But you're getting good odds on him in a fight that I think's maybe you'd have to slightly favor Petr Yan, just because you're going to get a consistent performance from him, and his cardio is going to be on point. So I would slightly favor Petr Yan at maybe like 55% or so, but Jose Aldo plus 200 is the play for me. Again, very risky play, but I'm on it. So then going into Volkanovski and Max Holloway, I would love to take Max Holloway as a big underdog. I was in attendance for Holloway and Volkanovski in their first fight. I had Volkanovski to win their first fight. I took him by, I think I took Volkanovski by with the under 4.5 rounds, which obviously didn't work out. Probably was a little greedy in that situation, because I thought if Volkanovski were to win, I thought he would need a finish. Clearly that was not the case. This time around, I don't see what Max can do differently in this short amount of time to change the outcome. I mean, yes, he had some success later in the fight in their first fight. I don't know if that was Max just making the necessary adjustments that he could carry into this coming fight, which is very possible, or if it was Volkanovski maybe taking his foot off the gas a little bit, thinking that he's up, 3-0 and he's gonna win a decision. I think it's more likely that outcome. I think I kind of like the Volkanovski by knockout prop this time around, where you can get plus 400, or just take Volkanovski by decision again. I think is around even money or small dog money. Either way, I would take Volkanovski. I would probably add him to a parlay, or just take him by the KO prop, because if he lives up to what he's saying, he wants to do better this time out than last time out against Holloway and prove a point, then doing it by knockout would be the way to go. So Volkanovski plus 400 on a KO prop or decision prop is probably a little bit more likely, but plus 400 is pretty good odds. But we've never seen Max get finished by knockout, so the odds are against it. But yeah, give me Volkanovski regardless to win that fight. Then we got Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. Man, this is the main event. Been looking forward to this fight. I like Burns, but it should have been Masvidal to begin with. I'm a Masvidal fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I put a little bit on Masvidal at plus 240. I thought that was a pretty good line to take him at. But fair warning, I do think Kamaru Usman very likely wins this fight. It's just styles, man, and Usman has that just stifling, grinding style, and he doesn't get tired, and he's durable. He did show some weakness in the strike. He doesn't have the best striking, so if this fight does stay standing, and there will be moments where Masvidal will have openings, I expect Masvidal to win those exchanges, absolutely. But the wrestling and the clinch work from Kamaru Usman will very likely win him this fight. The safe play would be taking Usman by decision at about even money. Both guys are very durable, and I wouldn't expect Kamaru Usman to finish Masvidal, even though I wouldn't expect Usman to finish Masvidal. So Usman by decision or an over 3.5 or over 4.5 rounds prop would be the much safer route to go, or the more likely outcome. I agree with the line when it was around minus 200, I think. Now more money's coming in on Usman. It looks like he's minus 250 now. Again, I have a small play on Masvidal just because I'm rooting for him, and I'm a little bit of a I don't know the word for it, but yeah, I'll be rooting for Masvidal, but the likely outcome is Usman, probably by decision. I definitely wouldn't take Masvidal at plus 116. I think he was as low as plus 155. I don't like that at all. So unless you're getting a really big line on Masvidal around plus 250 or better, I would just leave him alone. Take Kamaru Usman. He's a safe bet, or at least a much safer bet. You could probably even parlay him with Volkanovski, and get maybe even a little bit of plus money. I think that's probably a pretty safe bet. Good card overall. Those are my plays. I'll probably drop them in the description, so check those out. Good underdog. There's some other good underdogs on here. Some other fights that Carol Hossa and Vanessa Mello. Vanessa Mello is not UFC caliber. I would take Rosa in that fight. I've been flip flopping on Paiva and Shumagulov, so I'd probably go Shumagulov as an underdog possibly. Interesting to see how Leonardo Santos looks. He's one of Jose Aldo's training partners. He just never fights, but he's got some big wins on his record. But Bogatov could come out and win as a big dog. Makwan Amirkhani, I could see him wrestling his way to a decision. But yeah, nothing else. There's nothing really I'm super confident in. But if you play DraftKings, you know there's some good plays in here. Usman would be a for sure. Mixed in with maybe Rosa. Gotta have some dogs in there, so maybe actually put in Makwan Amirkhani, another wrestler. I would not take Ribas, way too much money there. And then I would add either Andrade or Aldo as your dog play or your punt play. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna start rambling if I keep going, so check the description. Thank you guys for watching and enjoy the card.